Hello, it's Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and I'm here this morning with the movie review companion to our read along that we've been doing for 6 weeks of The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Juan of Just One Reader and I have been partnering together with wonderful group of people to read this together, get our insights, get our thoughts in preparation for the movie that premiered last night in the United States. I was lucky to go to the second viewing of the day, and there was barely anyone in the theater because it was still really early. And I'm going to do a quick review of the movie. So if you want to go see it, wait and come back after you've seen it. Or if you have no intention, but just know that I'm probably going to spoil a few things. So keep that in mind as you consider watching further. So let's talk about the good first. The cinematography of the book was magnificent. The colors, the lushness, the depth of New York, the dark colors and the dark tones, and the antique vibe of Hobby's workshop. Magnificent. Amsterdam, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Vegas, the bleak desolation of those washed out beiges, perfection. Really, really great. So the look was there. Some of the casting was really done well, I think. I side-eyed when I saw Sarah Paulson as Xandra because I just didn't think that she was tacky enough, quite frankly. But she really pulled it out and did a Xandra that I think was realistic and fit, and absolutely fit. I know that there have been some criticisms of young Boris, of Finn as young Boris. I thought he was really good. I think he played the awkward, the juvenile delinquent, more of the juvenile side than the delinquent side. The delinquent side was there, but you got the heart. So a lot of what I found in my second reading of the book of Boris's character came out in this movie, which was wonderful. I don't generally like Nicole Kidman, but I think she did Mrs. Barber with that restraint and the ability to care as far as she could. I thought that was done incredibly well. Andy, the character actor of Andy was fantastic. I adored every single time he was on the screen. Hobby's fantastic. I thought the older Kitsy, adult Kitsy was fantastic. Young Kitsy was okay. The Pippa character, both young and old, I thought was really well done. In the book, Pippa could be a little whimsical to the point of almost being simpleton, whereas I think that the portrayal done in the movie had more depth and more interest, and you could see the attraction and compulsion for Theo. So I think those things were great. Let's talk about what's bad. The biggest problem with the movie is the sequencing. It's like they went through the book and ripped out sections and mixed them all up. And by doing so, you lost the progression and regression of the characters. So you didn't get a chance to follow Theo as he's kind of coming unraveled and then building. There's no arc to any of these characters because it's all out of order. And so what they're trying to build is this, it felt like they were trying to heighten the senses and this heightened sentimentality, including the maudlin music in the background or just strange connections. And they lost the key point, which is the goldfinch as this talisman and touchstone that Theo had used through his entire life. There was a few points where you forgot the goldfinch even existed. so the narrative of why things happen weren't there. It created the superficial, glossy, but you couldn't get into the characters. You couldn't really understand what was happening. And I think the worst thing is that at the beginning in the Amsterdam scenes and in the last Amsterdam scenes, there was voiceover. So Theo actually voiced over those moments, but the voiceover didn't occur anywhere else in the movie. And so the entire book is from Theo's point of view. And so to not have voiceovers throughout the book and to only bookmark it there felt like we didn't see anything inside Theo, and therefore he is very wooden. The tendencies that we talk so much about in the book, where he's passive and he just kind of goes along with things as they happen, and represses his emotion. When you see it on the screen, look just dead. The poor older Theo it doesn't have any emotion on his face at all. He'll be crying and it's still a perplexed look on his face. So I think those were really, really big problems, and I'm stunned. I'm stunned at the directorial choices. More importantly, I don't know how anyone could understand what this book is about by watching the movie, because by taking things out of order, you really, as I said before, you lose that ability to have this arc of these characters and to see how, and to center Theo, and then how these people came into his life and left his life, and how he was impacted by all of that loss, by all of the PTSD. There would be scenes of him waking up and crying, but and some flashbacks to the bombing. Which you can make sense, but it didn't have the same impact on you that it did in the book. So in the end, I think it was a huge, big lost opportunity. I was talking with Juan this morning. He wanted a personal review, so we were voxering. I'm not sure if that's the word, voxering. We were talking over Voxer this morning. And I said, I wish that we could grab the footage, we could put it back in the right order, and then we'll do the voiceovers. And we could have Juan do the voiceover of Theo as he goes through the story. So yeah, I get it. I get the poor ratings. Again, if you love this book, it may be enough for you to go into those spaces and to see how it came to life, because that was wonderful. That part was wonderful. It was like visiting a place that you're very, very familiar with. But what they did to Hobie, they really stripped Hobie of the pure, unadulterated love that he had. At one point, they take the entire philosophical bent that's at the very, very end about what art means in the world, and they had Hobie confront Theo with it, which is a travesty, because that was not Hobie's approach. Hobie was unconditionally loving and generous and a safe harbor for Theo, and to have it turned that way was very sad to watch. And ultimately, the only redemptive arc in this was Boris's. There was no end and no redemption or potential for redemption for Theo, which was very interesting as well. So a lot of key points and key highlights of the book just don't exist here, which was very upsetting. So that's my review. I can't wait to hear your thoughts after you watch it. Come let me know. And yeah, I thank you so much for everyone who is on this journey with us. I want to give a special shout out to Juan for doing this with me. I had so much fun. I'm so glad we did it together, and hopefully we'll have something else cooked up down the road. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you. Bye.